Hey everyone, welcome back to the Healing Her Feminine podcast. I'm Lindsey, your guide for all things hormonal health, nervous system healing, and finding your way back to your feminine vitality. Today, I want to have a real conversation about something that I see everywhere. I see a bunch of women always doing quote unquote all the right things. They are taking their supplements, they are tracking their cycles, they're eating correctly, they're exercising. Whenever there's like new information that comes up, they tend to gravitate towards that. They're following all these different clinicians and functional medicine practitioners and all the things. And they are always trying to do all of the things, and they still are ending up feeling exhausted, bloated, and just completely just disconnected, right? So if this resonates with you, then I see you. I understand what you're going through, and I want you to leave this episode with a simple science-backed win that you can actually start implementing today. So before we dive in, I did just come out with a quiz that I think is super fun. It's super short too. It's like you could do it in less than 3 minutes. I want to say it's maybe like 10 quick questions. And the title of this quiz is the Body Reconnection Quiz, and it's going to let you kind of figure out where you're at as far as listening to where your body is at, what your body needs are. And then at the end, you'll get a plan, a simple 3-step plan to regulate, remind your body, and come back into connection with your body. So if you're interested in taking that quiz, I would really appreciate it because it also gives me feedback to help with future episodes and what I'm putting up on my Instagram. So you guys can go to my Instagram and check that out. It's in the bio, or you can go to bit.ly, so bit.ly/body reconnection quiz, all one word. And that'll take you to the quiz. It takes less than 3 minutes. And you get your results at the end. And then there will be some follow-up emails to help you kind of implement whatever your results were. So please go do that. And then let's move on to today's episode. So if you guys noticed, the title of today, I'm pretty sure is why you even clicked on here, says why your supplements won't work. Why are they not working? And we're going to go through why they're not working and what your body is really asking you for. So again, before I actually get into the whole sciencey stuff, I want to give you some context. I have a friend who mentioned to me this past week that she is having some trouble sleeping. First thing I asked her was, are you taking magnesium? Because the quick and short answer to sleep is going to be regulation of your melatonin, which typically is connected with a lack of magnesium, potassium, those good things. So I always go for the magnesium first and foremost. She said she was taking magnesium and it didn't help. This is where this episode is coming from. Because we can be taking all the supplements for XYZ symptom, and it still not be what our body is asking for. Another example on the opposite end of the spectrum is I have a family member who follows some health practitioners on YouTube. And anytime these practitioners bring up certain symptoms, this family member is like, oh, I need to go do that because I have that symptom. So this family member will go buy the supplement, we'll go buy the food, we'll go try the diet trend, we'll do whatever these people say online. The issue with that is that person online on the other side of the screen has no clue who you are, what your lifestyle is, what your environment is, what your family history is, where you're at in your life as far as age or life stage. Are you menopausal? Are you post, pre? Like, where are you? That person doesn't know. That person is giving general advice. And that's why I say this all the time with my information is, if you want it to actually work, we have to set up a phone call. We have to set up some sort of communication where I can get that background information from you and further tailor what it is that your body specifically needs. Now, a lot of my resources also give you questions that kind of further guide you towards what's more specific for you. And I try to never give blanket statements on, you should be taking magnesium if you want to go to sleep. Like, I'm not going to say that, right? What I will say is something more along the lines of, if you're an O blood type, your protein intake should be higher than if you are a B or an AB. Your protein content for an O blood type should be more red meat based. We are prone to anemia and other chronic illnesses that deal with the blood because of our acidity in our blood and the way that our blood metabolizes these nutrients. People with B blood types, they should be eating more things like lamb instead of beef, right? Because our blood breaks these things down. Like, our stomach breaks these things down, the nutrients go into our system and the system gets transported by our blood, right? So those types of things I will mention, and you can apply them accordingly. They're not blanket statements. They're a little bit more specific. Now, again, I can't give you full specificity without knowing your entire background, which is why I do clarity calls for free. Part of the quiz I just mentioned, you can sign up to get a clarity call for more information on your results, right? I'll do webinars and things like that. I'll post things on Instagram stories on my Instagram page that kind of are more in depth. So here's the problem. We take things, they don't work. We take too many things. We keep trying different things, shifting, and they're still not working. A lot of times too, we won't take the things for long enough to see the results. And I've mentioned that in a couple of the previous podcast episodes too. So I will be coming out also when it comes to sleep, since that's what I started with, why you're getting your 3 p.m. kind of crash and what better sleep habits you could have to help you with both the 3 p.m. crash and falling asleep and staying asleep. But for this episode, I just really wanted to focus on supplements. I also have a supplement fix guide that I will share in the description below if you guys are interested in that. It really goes through the background of supplements themselves. I'm going to try not to dive into that with this episode. Things like how they're not regulated, what to look for, what specific symptoms you can use to determine which supplements are actually going to help with those symptoms, and really hone in on what your specific supplemental routine should look like, along with what supplements I do highly recommend for different things. That's all in that guide. Again, I'll put that in the description box. I'm going to try not to go into all of that on here. I really just want to focus on the why and how we can do better moving forward, because I do want you guys to have a quick win when you come off of this podcast. Okay. So again, it's not about missing the right supplement, right? It's about something deeper that's going on in your body. And that's what we're here for today. So again, supplements are everywhere. There's all different types, different brands, all the things, like, and different values. They always have different labeling about, oh, this is going to help you with this or that, and all the things. So supplements within the name is supplemental, right? It is a supplement to what you are already doing. It is in addition to. It is not the end all be all, right? So a lot of women go into supplementation with the idea that it's a miracle pill, right? A miracle supplement. Like, this is the thing that's going to help me stop having headaches. This is the thing that's going to stop, my leg from swelling, or from me being bloated, or from XYZ hurting, or for my metabolism. You name it, there's a supplement for it, just like there's a pill for an ill in our society. Like, there's things out there that are branded and marketed a certain way for certain types of support. Whether or not they actually work is going to be up to you and your body. Okay. But just remember that they're supplementational things. They're not like the whole meat and potatoes, right? They're here to support. They're not here to replace the foundations that your body actually needs. So when we think about why these things aren't working, the first one is that a lot of us who are high functioning women who are in anxiety ridden, chaotic type go, go, go environments where we're doing all these things, trying to keep our head above the water, our body is asking for the connection, right? The connection back to yourself, to be in tune with yourself. It's not just about correcting what is happening, it's about reconnecting with your body. So when we're stuck in this survival mode and we're stressed out, we're undernourished, we're disconnected from our hunger cues or our rest cues, there's nothing in the world that can fix that, right? So this is why we do nervous system work, somatic work, with that coming back home and reconnecting with yourself. Because when your body feels safe, that's when your body's really going to pick up on all the nutrients and food and things that you are doing with your body, exercise even. Like, your body has to feel safe. So when your body's misaligned on a connection, intuitive based type path, you're not going to see the results despite how much effort you put in through supplements, through meals, through exercise. It's just not going to work. So we have nervous system work. That's number one. Even if you only take 5 minutes to do a couple of box breathings, that 4 in, hold for 4, 4 out, hold for 4, 5 minutes literally is all it takes for your body to get out of this go, go, go mode and go, okay, wait a minute, we're pausing. It's safe, right? Put your hand on your heart. Tell yourself, I am safe. It's okay to calm down. Just by doing that once a day for 5 minutes will bring so much safety into your body. It's incredible how easy and simple that one thing is. So you can leave here today with that. If that's the thing you leave with today, I will be happy with that. But let's go a little further. So symptoms are signals. They're not flaws. Your body's not broken. Your body's just saying, hey, pay attention to me, please, because this is happening and I need you to fix it because I can't fix it. I've already tried fixing it. This is where your body is like, I just need something different. So if we are tired all the time, if we're bloated all the time, if we're having restless sleep, if we're having swelling anywhere, if we're having headaches, whatever the symptom is, that is your body's way of telling you something's up. Now, getting to the root cause of what that something is a whole nother episode, right? And again, that's where that personalized type one-on-one conversation needs to be had, either with me or with a doctor, whoever your practitioner is, to help you kind of figure out, okay, this is the sign, what is the trigger, right? The next thing, kind of going a little deeper into that, our root causes are more often than not, lifestyle based. It's not just nutrients. So there's a lot of media out there that says, just get movement in 10 minutes a day, just eat more protein, 40 grams per meal, things like that. And again, those are those blanket statements that are okay to listen to, but there's a bigger picture happening here, right? So I could even go, okay, as a premenopausal woman, make sure that you're eating breakfast first thing in the morning and it's a protein dense breakfast, and that you aren't having caffeine for 90 minutes before you wake up. Like, I can tell you all of these things. But if your body and your lifestyle, like if your body doesn't feel safe and your lifestyle is contradictory to the absorption of those nutrients, for whatever reason, you might have trauma that's happened in your life. It could be, that disconnect of the nervous system, whatever it is, chronic stress, blood sugar swings, spikes and lows and drops and things. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into you being able to absorb the proper nutrients, let alone letting go of the detoxification processes that happen on a day-to-day basis. We need to understand that the symptoms are the signals, right? Pay attention, and that the root cause of those symptoms often are going to be lifestyle based. Okay, they're able to be fixed when we change our lifestyle, and that doesn't just include our nutrients. Okay. So, the first thing that I want to talk about is there's a few myths that are circling out there. One of those is, if I just find the right supplement, then I'll feel better. Okay, kind of going back to what I just talked about. So the truth is that the supplements, they can help, right? You have to find the right one in the right dosage by the right company, made correctly, all these things. Again, the supplement fix guide that I have walks you through all of this stuff. But what they can't do is they can't override your stress, right? They can't override you having poor sleep. They can't override you ignoring your body's cues. Maybe you're hyper busy throughout the day and you miss a snack, right? And then now you're going to miss lunch, and your body's like, hey, you need to stop. I'm hungry. Like, you need to feed me. I need food. And you go, okay, but I'm too busy. I can't right now. The more times that you dismiss your body's cues and ignore those cues, the more your body is going to be like, oh, okay, I guess we shouldn't tell her that anymore because she's not listening, and then that's kind of when your body starts shifting. Your body will learn. It's so interesting, the neurological connection between your brain and your actual functions of your body. It's a very interesting connection because you can actually start to train your body just like you would weight train or train for a 5K or train for an eating contest. Like, you can train your body to ignore its own cues, right? So where you don't have those hunger cues anymore, you don't have those I need sleep, I'm tired cues. Like, you can override those if you continue to override them or ignore them for long enough. Myth number 2 is that bloating is always about food. And I'm probably going to come back and do a whole nother episode on this. So I'm not going to touch a whole lot on this, but bloating can also be about stress. It could be about hormone dysregulation. And it's not just how you eat, it can also be um, the times that you eat, right? It could be what phase of your menstrual cycle you're in. There's a lot of things that contribute to why you're getting bloat, and 9 times out of 10 is probably not even the food that you're eating. Okay, the last myth that I have for you is, if I'm tired, I need more energy supplements, and that could be drinkable energy supplements or actual pill form energy supplements. And the truth is that your true energy, that vitality that's within you, it comes from balanced blood sugar. It comes from a restful sleep. Or maybe for some of us, like myself, that's a projector, it comes from resting in the afternoon, from taking those micro breaks in between the times that we're working, and just honoring our natural rhythms. And it doesn't come from an outside source. It comes from within. So if you're tired, I suggest you look at your blood sugar, your insulin resistance. How are you sleeping? How is your body queuing up? Does it need a nap in the middle of the day? Do you need micro breaks throughout the day? Just what is that natural rhythm, and really tuning into what that looks like for you. Okay. So let's go into what your body actually does need, and it's a little bit of what I just mentioned. The first and foremost one that I think a lot of women need to focus on a lot more than what we do is our blood sugar balance. Now, just because you don't have diabetes or just because you don't have the actual chronic illness that indicates that you have irregular blood sugar or insulin resistance, it doesn't mean that you don't have it. You can still have insulin resistance and not have diabetes. So I want you guys to understand that too. And blood sugar really matters because when your blood sugar is like a roller coaster, that's where that 3 p.m. crash comes. That's where poor sleep comes from. And that's where this dysregulation in our hormones really gets triggered because our body likes to stay at homeostasis. It likes rhythms, it likes balance, it likes consistency. And when you're going like this, up and down, like you're on a roller coaster with your blood sugar, your hormones are going to be like, WTF right now, basically. Like, what the heck? So, a quick tip that I can give you is like I just mentioned, starting your day with a breakfast that includes protein. It includes protein, it has a healthy fat and a fiber. So we're talking, hard boiled eggs, we're talking greens, we're talking chia seeds, that could be chia pudding if you're into that. Different nuts are really great if you're a cycle syncing. I'll do a whole nother episode on cycle syncing as well. Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, berries, seeds, those types of things are really great for the morning. I personally will rotate between about a cup of cottage cheese with an egg and maybe a slice of ham, with some not avocado, with some guacamole. I typically do the guacamole thing first thing in the morning for the full week before my period starts. And then I don't have cramps at all by doing that because avocado has different nutrients in it that help with cramps. So if you are consistently doing it at least the week before you start your menses, then 9 times out of 10 you won't have cramps. But there could also be other hormonal malfunctions happening where that won't work for you. It might just ease it up a little bit. But, anyways, I digress. So, that's what I do for breakfast. Or I'll do a mixture of cottage cheese and ratio protein yogurt with some berries. I'll do that too. It works because it keeps your energy steady right from the beginning of the day. It gives you a good, healthy start with your blood sugar right off the bat. And it helps avoid that afternoon slump because you're keeping your blood sugar at this consistent level throughout the day. It also helps with things like osteoporosis, um, muscle retention, um, weight loss, all of these things. Like having a high protein breakfast in the morning is actually really good. There are some pushbacks with fasting and how fasting is so good for you. I'm here to tell you fasting is not good for you if you haven't been through menopause yet as a female. If you are a male, probably not listening to this, but if you're a male, go for all the fasting that you want in the world. If you are menopausal or postmenopausal, go for all the fasting that you want in the world. But if you are not those two things, please do not go fasting longer than it is for the nighttime, from the time you go to sleep to the time you wake up, because it will wreak so much havoc on your hormones. It's not even funny. So please don't do that. Okay. Next one is your nervous system regulation. A lot of us have this chronic stress, overwhelm, anxiety, all the things, and it just constantly keeps our body in fight or flight, and it makes it hard to rest, digest, and heal, right? Our parasympathetic nervous system needs to come online, and it's not. So the quick tip is, like I said, 2 to 5 minutes, slow, intentional breathing. You could do the box breathing that I mentioned. You can even do this before meals. It also helps with that satiation when it comes to your meals. You can inhale for 4, exhale for 6. You could do 4, 4, 4, 4. whatever works for you. You can turn something on YouTube that helps you with guided meditation, guided breath work, whatever the case is. Like I said, 2 to 5 minutes minimum. If you can go 10, perfect. You'll get a lot more out of it. But whatever you can fit in, please fit it in. And this is going to work to help signal that safety in your body. That's going to help improve the digestion. It's going to help with the bloat. It's going to help with better sleep. It's going to help with a lot of things down the road. Okay. And throughout the day. The next one that I want to discuss is gentle, consistent nourishment. So why it matters is because years of skipping meals or under eating, it actually will shrink your stomach. It'll shrink your appetite. It'll disconnect you from those hunger cues that we mentioned. So if this is you, where you've consistently been the one to skip meals for whatever reason, or you have under eaten and you look at 40 grams of protein and you're like, holy crap, that's like double what I normally eat. Slowly and consistently increase the amount that you're eating till you get up to that goal, because you're going to have to remind your body, you're going to have to check in with your body every couple of hours in order to retrain your body that it is, number one, safe, because you want it to be able to trigger feast mode and not famine mode. So checking in with your body every 3 to 4 hours. You can set a thing on your phone if you want, and just give yourself a snack. Doesn't matter how small it is, just something, right? And you could tune in and say, what does my body need right now? It could be a handful of nuts. It could be a slice of turkey, whatever that little snack is for you. Go ahead and do it. Obviously, the more protein, the better. And then you're just going to help your body kind of rebuild up until you get to the point where you can have that, 40 grams of protein for breakfast in the morning. You can handle these larger meals at breakfast, and then, it slowly decreases throughout the day. And then your snacks, like, you can handle all of this. And I will tell you that, like we talked about in the last episode, you would think that the more you ate, that the more weight you would gain, when in actuality, it's actually the opposite. Now, yes, if you're eating a bunch of junk food, then obviously that's not going to help. But if you're doing whole calories, like whole foods, then your body's going to feel so nourished. It's going to relax. And then all of that excess weight that's been packing on because you've been stressing your body out so much is just going to shed off like butter. Like, it's going to go away. So I highly recommend, building up to that goal of that amount of protein, and then you'll definitely see the results from there. Your metabolism will definitely kick up, and then also your mood will stabilize as well. You won't be hangry, right? Okay, so you could try any of these for the next 3 days, any of these tips that I just gave you. And then let me know if you guys do that. Let me know what your results are. Let me know if you want to dive deeper, whatever the case is. Like I said, you have that quiz that you can take. You can always DM me on Instagram. You can write stuff in the comments here if you want. And I will, get back to you, and we can set up a clarity call. Clarity calls are free. They're 30 minutes, and we can just deep dive to whatever's going on and kind of figure out some solutions for you. So all of those are open for you to choose from. Also, before I cut this out, I wanted to let you guys know that I am going to be hosting a webinar. So if you're catching this as a replay and it's not October of 2025 anymore, then disregard this next part. But if it is before the end of the year of 2025, then I will be hosting a webinar towards the middle of October. I think I have it scheduled for the 16th. I will double check on that, and I will let you know in the next podcast the exact date, because I just started planning for it. But one of the options in the quiz when you take it is if you would like to sign up for that webinar. And the webinar is going to be Healing Your Feminine, how to restore your feminine vitality and walk away from burnout through gentle shifts no overwhelm. Because the last thing I want you guys is to feel like you have to do another thing on your plate. I want to take things off of your plate and bring you back to yourself. So this is going to be a science meets soul workshop for any high achieving women that are ready to step out of this survival mode that we talked about and really step into your softness, your sovereignty, your vibrant energy. It's just, it's meant for you to be able to do these things at a pace that really fits your life right now. Because I can completely understand that your life's probably really busy. So stay tuned for all of those details. Like I said, you can take the quiz too. The link is in the description box. If you're on my mailing list, I will be sending all this information out as well soon. And again, just follow me on Instagram. Check out my link in bio. There's a bunch of information there too. Other than that, that is all that I have for you ladies today. So just remember that you're not broken. You're just disconnected, and society puts all of that on us, and that's okay. That's why I'm here. That's why a lot of us in this field are here, is to help you reconnect with your body, because your body knows. Your body is wise. It knows what to do if you give it the right support. You can reclaim your energy. You can reclaim your cycles. You can reclaim your sense of self. All of those good things. So if this episode resonated, please like it, share it with someone who needs to hear it. You can always DM me, like I said, if you have an aha moment, if something helped, if you'd like to see something come out on the podcast, I would be glad for suggestions. Let's just keep walking this path together, okay? So until next time, regulate, reclaim, and remember your sovereignty. I'll see you guys next week.